whatever.
Eidos Montreal confirmed to be the big headliner here. So we got an article coming from Jason Schreier that this is actually from back in like a year ago, maybe two. Let me make sure on that one. Could be the Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy could be the rumored game coming from Jason Schreier, which is a very reliable source. Could be Guardians of the Galaxy. What do you guys think about that? Is that something new? Is that news to you guys, or is this the first time you're hearing it?
I've heard it before. I'm probably not gonna play it. I didn't play Avengers. I love the Marvel movies, and that's where it ends. Like Avengers just didn't grab me, and I don't know what
Hmm.
style this if it is Guardians of the Galaxy, what style it's gonna be in. If it's gonna be a similar game to that, or something else. I have to see it first, but most likely I'm probably not gonna play it. Most other Square games, especially Western focused Square games, I have almost zero interest in. Yeah, they don't grab my attention at all. So I'm if it is Guardians, fine, but I don't know if I'm interested.
Mhm. So just to read this article for you guys, this is actually back from 2017. So we got a couple years here.
Wow.
This is coming from Jason Schreier. Sources say Eidos Montreal is working on Guardians of the Galaxy game. Future Deus Ex is murky, as Square Enix doesn't have any plans to do any more Deus Ex games. And then he says the game is based on the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy that will be the second entry in Square Enix's new partnership with Marvel. Uh,
Hmm. Will will uh
Square,
will Avengers affect that in any way? I wonder.
yeah, they're like, hey, please get it right this time.
I
But
imagine
yeah,
this
that's coming
had to
from
be in
Jason Schreier,
development.
I believe.
This had to be in development, like it had to overlap in development with Avengers.
Yeah.
So this was probably
Yeah.
already in the pipeline. From my understanding, or what I had read a while back, I don't follow Marvel that religiously, but from my understanding, what they were trying to do is create like a Marvel gaming universe. And
Right.
they
Yeah.
yeah, and they
The
have different
MGU.
company yeah, the
So
MGU, and they're trying to have, like, all these different companies working on these projects, and assuming that Guardians of the Galaxy is real, I'm also assuming that they gave that in Avengers to Eidos and are having them working on it, so that was probably already in the works, alongside of Avengers before Avengers even flopped, so that also means that everyone is now looking at the Guardians of the Galaxy development team internally and are like, you better not f this up. We will come for you.
Right.
yeah,
You cannot make us lose another $80 million, whatever they lost on Avengers. It was a pretty staggering number, and
yeah,
so
insane.
it's actually funny too because before Avengers came out, I was looking at Final Fantasy VII Remake and I was looking at Avengers and man, I was like Avengers is probably going to make more money because it's the freaking Avengers.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the big, like it was the big E3 LA Convention Center thing. Like it was the number one banner
Yeah.
sitting up there, and like
Yeah.
I cannot believe it too, man. I'm right there with you.
What I
Yeah.
do
I'm
want to
right there
add
with you.
I want to add about that Marvel gaming universe thing. I was sort of following that for a bit because I was such a massive fan of Marvel's Spider-Man and Miles Morales for that matter. But
Yeah.
I remember when they first released Spider-Man on PS4, there was a Easter egg. There was these missions where you would take pictures of landmarks, and one of them was Avengers Tower. And Spider-Man
Yep.
makes a comment that, "Oh, the Avengers are probably in San Francisco right now." So they were gonna have the connection to Marvel's Avengers. But what happened after Marvel's Avengers came out and lost $80 million or whatever, in the PS5 remaster, that line of dialogue is taken out. So that
Really?
the Avengers is
Oh
not
wow.
connected to Spider-Man anymore, to that Spider-Man universe. They
Dude, I
they
didn't know they straight up
it.
took the line out.
Yeah, they took the line out. It's
I
insane.
did not
Well,
know that.
well,
That's
So
crazy.
isn't
yeah,
Man, I was gonna
isn't
say that. I feel like they're gonna keep supporting the in hope in hopes that this game can make a comeback. Like, go straight up Ubisoft on it and just keep supporting the game even after it flops, and then hopefully a couple years down the line it becomes big. But I didn't know they kind of basically gave up, like took the line out. We're like, we're not sure. Let's just take that line out completely.
Isn't
Yeah, they just
I didn't know
So
that.
disconnected and they
funny.
cut
That
ties right there.
isn't
Wow.
isn't Spider-Man straight up just owned by Sony though? Like,
So
does
the Sony has the film rights, but
just
as
the
far
film
as
rights?
video games, comics, it's all fair game. But
Okay.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that the film rights, Sony owning that, helped them get exclusivity for the game, and to obviously
True.
they're funding that and everything as well. But it made it that much
Plus,
easier. But it's
Insomniac at
just
this
film
point.
rights.
They own Insomniac.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they own
now they own
Insomniac.
Insomniac. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, uh, but I don't know if that. Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily the deciding factor of like disconnecting it from, the Avengers universe. I think it was honestly that it just didn't live up to the quality, and they just wanted to like, you know what? Let's make this its own thing. And so what does that mean for a Guardians of the Galaxy game if it comes out? What universe is that going to be a part of? Is it going to be its own, or is it going to be connected to Avengers or Spider-Man? So that'd be interesting to take note of if it is a Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think we could see it, man. That's some good points there. I had no idea about the line being taken out. Interesting. So I do think we will see from Montreal Studios. We will see the Guardians of the Galaxy. This was rumored back in 2017, reported by Jason Schreier. So I mean, Jason Schreier is rarely wrong. I mean, he's one of the most I guess acclaimed journalists out there. So I think I can believe it. I think I
Well,
believe it.
4 years too.
So
4 years ago, a lot can happen
it's
in
ready
that
to
time.
go, right?
It's either
We
ready to
should
go or if it could have been canceled as well.
canceled. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it could have
like
been canceled years ago at this point if there hasn't been any
true.
updates about it. So it could be either or, you know?
That's absolutely true. I want to go on to the other thing that they are going to be talking about. So let's get the confirmed ones out of the way right now. Babylon's Fall is going to be there. Finally, we get to see
Yeah.
Babylon's Fall. It's funny because I had put this in my document as like I have it right here. I'm trying not to read it wrong, but I was like, I think it's time to see Babylon's Fall again. It hasn't been, back in 2018 of E3, and then they announced that it will be. It's confirmed, and so it's good. So basically, I gotta reread this the right way because I have it prediction, but it's confirmed. It is in partnership with Platinum Games, who's making it. It's been 3 years. And I think it's time to see a whole lot more on this game. There was a recent leak or just a rumor, a strong rumor coming out from SteamDB that says that a closed beta test popped up on SteamDB. And yeah, so if it's got an open beta or a closed beta coming up, we can expect this game. Maybe they're going to announce a closed beta for it. This is coming from gamingbolt.com.
Oh, dude, it's this game. Like, I forgot this existed. I
You
just
went back
looked
and
it up
watched the
right
video.
now. Yeah, I watched the trailer, like, when they released it, and I just immediately forgot about it. This looks awesome. Excited for
It looks like Godfall a little bit, right? Like,
it.
am
Looks
I
like
getting like
Godfall,
I got a
but
little
good.
bit of God.
Hey, let's not
Yeah,
let's not curse Babylon, all right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's not jinx it, right?
so there you go. Babylon's Fall. Like, okay, so Night Sky Prince, you seemed really excited when I said Babylon's Fall.
I am.
What do you think?
It's
And I'll
kind of
be right
riding
back. You
off.
go ahead.
Okay, it's kind of riding off the success that we had with, or that Square had with Nier Automata, which is a really, really, really successful collaboration for them. And so I guess they went straight into making a new game, and this is a new IP. So it's kind of, and it's also not going to have Yoko Taro's storytelling. But the last game that Square-Enix and Platinum collaborated on was a massive success, and I'm hoping this will be the same. I'm hoping for at least gameplay wise something that is as amazing and incredible as Nier Automata was, both in story and gameplay. But I don't know. I don't think we'll hit those same story high points that we would near. That's just
Yeah.
next to impossible. But
Do
yeah,
we know anything about the story, or is it just gameplay? Can't remember off the top of my
I
head.
from everything I've seen, I can't tell you a single detail about the damn story.
Okay. Yeah, I just remember the gameplay, just the crazy combos and stuff looking pretty awesome, as it does. It's platinum, so yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's to be expected. I am interested to see what kind of story that we get from this, if it's going to be anything interesting.
yeah. I'm just a platinum fan in general. So
Yeah,
I
I
yeah, I
haven't really played. I only ever tried Astral Chain, and I kind of dropped it after like an hour. I don't know why. I just maybe I wasn't in the right mindset to get into a new type of game. I don't play a ton of action oriented games, but I admire platinum games and have a great amount of respect for them because I know how incredible their combat looks. Like I've seen it, and
yeah.
it's like, wow, that looks insane. So
Astral
Mhm.
Chain is like, I don't know, dude. It's like the first time you have like a sip of beer and you think it's gross, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you just keep sipping it for some reason, and then before you know it, you're talking about like craft beer and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's
you're just suddenly an
that's Astral
expert
Chain,
of
yeah.
all beers.
That's yeah, that's Astral Chain. Like I love that game, but like when you first get your hands on it, you're just like, what is this? And like you have to control like basically your character and your character stand at the same time. I don't know. It's
Yeah, that
like
was interesting. I was like, "Oh, this is different. I'm gonna put this down for a minute," and then I just never picked it up again. I think I actually, traded it in. I feel bad to say that,
Man,
but
uh
that's a great analogy. Also,
yeah.
also could be used for so we're gonna move on to the next thing on the Square Enix my predictions list here. Um, Just Cause Mobile. All right, guys. Now I don't know if there's a lot of hype going on for Just Cause Mobile, but let me tell you that it's gonna be there, okay? Because it's coming in 2021. Just Cause Mobile is an action shooter game set in the Just Cause universe, designed exclusively for mobile. It's gonna have co-op missions. It's gonna be like that top-down, free to play on mobile. And it says this: it's coming in 2021 on the official website, entirely free to play. So I think it's almost, it feels like a given that they're going to talk about it, right? I just feel like they're going to talk about it. This is they need to. I think it was revealed. I want to say last year. It might have been last year. But what's more exciting is a possible first look at Just Cause 5 for next gen consoles, as this is coming from justcause.fandom.com. So Avalanche Studios is looking for certain like jobs on LinkedIn, I believe it was, in the jobs listings, or it was on the official website, to create the largest and greatest AAA project we've ever worked on. And then it also goes on to have some implications of we need to do next gen animation technology to the bleeding edge. We need somebody to create full world biomes, landmarks, locations, roads, and rivers, and all this other stuff. So a lot of this stuff seemed very heavily implied that it was good, it was Just Cause that they're working on. So yes, scoping high fidelity terrain and all this other good stuff. So we know that they're building a world for Just Cause 5. Now, a Just Cause 5 on next generation consoles would be pretty exciting to see. I'm pretty stoked. Anybody else like Just Cause the series? No?
Uh,
Alrighty then. That's okay. We just wanted to. I
yeah,
just wanted to get it out there, just
my
because this is a
cousin likes it.
comprehensive list. Well, there you go.
But yeah,
I'll
you know what? He likes
uh,
Just Cause 3. I heard 4 was pretty underwhelming. So, and
Yeah.
that's the latest impression we have of the series, unfortunately. So, like, uh,
Mm,
I I don't really care too much about the series, but like having Just Cause 4 get the reception that it did is a little worrying, I think, for the series. So we'll have to see where it goes from here. I have almost no interest in getting into it, uh, especially into Just Cause Mobile. I'm good.
mm.
So you guys can take it from
Fair,
here.
Fair enough. No, that I think we're good. We don't really need to dwell on Just Cause. I just wanted to get it out there. There might be people out there excited for it, right? I don't know, chat.
Oh
You guys
yeah.
excited for Just Cause? I don't know. Uh,
Um,
You know,
I,
I'll
um,
say this about Just Cause.
yeah.
Like back when Final Fantasy 15 was in development, I thought it was really cool that a lot of the Just Cause developers actually came on to help with the Regalia Type F because
Yeah.
they were having like tech issues and they weren't able to resolve it, and some people from the Just Cause team were able to help them make the airship work. So I don't know. I think it'd be cool if they could contribute that to 7R2 and 16 to make their airships work,
Absolutely. They
implying
do.
that those games
Square
do
does
have
seem to
will
like.
have those same type of airship
We
like
hope
fight.
so.
Yeah, we all hope so, but we'll see.
um, uh,
Yeah,
I,
I mean, they do seem to like kind of pluck from Eidos
Hmm.
to
uh,
help on projects. What's up, Vin?
just on the Just Cause thing. Those style games, I was never a huge fan of. Like they were fun, like the open world destroy everything style thing. But the only game that really stood out to me from that specific type of game was a Prototype. Like I would love to play a current gen Prototype. I don't know if you guys have played Prototype or Prototype 2, but that was like to me that was like when that came out, I was like, oh my god, video games get better than this.
Yeah, yeah, I remember Prototype coming out. That was pretty mind blowing at the time. Yeah, Prototype needs to come back. It's coming from Irish in
Yeah,
chat.
Prototype was
Um,
amazing. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind them doing like a Prototype remake or just a Prototype 3.
I feel like this is a great segue into my next topic, my next game. We're talking about games coming back from the dead. All right, so we got Square-Enix and a Blue Point team up that was rumored. Now, I did a little bit of digging, and this is coming from Game Rant. And Game Rant says the rumors are from Blue Point Legacy of Kain could be the remake that we see. So this is coming from GameRant.com and says that, let's see, I want to make sure I get this. Okay, there's the article also says something else that I can't wait to touch on a little bit later when I talk about Sony. But launching alongside that on the PlayStation 5 is a remake of Blood Omen Legacy of Kain is set to be released in 2021. And this is the rumor because Bluepoint is teaming up with Square-Enix. Let's see. Want to make sure I get it. Legacy of Kain franchise is also they're going to kind of they're trying to capture the success that they had with Demon Souls, right? So they're gonna upgrade it, remake it, and stuff like that with Legacy of Kain. Anybody play Legacy of Kain when it was back?
No.
No, that's okay.
No, I did not.
That's all right. Yeah, that was a yeah. It was actually it kind of had its cult following there. We've got in chat Belicia says Legacy of Kain hype. All right, there we go. There we got some hype in there. Woo! Irish is excited. I love the hype over here. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. I know we had some hype earlier, but there's the hype right there in the chat. Thank you guys. Yeah. So they're gonna be trying to incorporate the gameplay like seen in the Dark Souls for this Legacy of Kain. So now Vinny's interest is piqued as they're trying to make it a little bit of a Soulsborne. And it kind of fits right in with that theme, if you know what I mean. Like if you've ever played Legacy of Kain, it has that dark, gothic feel to it, right? So it's exciting. Okay, that's the Blue Point team up, and more on that in a little bit when we get to Sony's. Now, going to go over to another confirmed game. We know it's going to be there. Is anybody excited for Life is Strange True Colors? Anybody excited? No?
Hard
Vinny?
pass.
Yes? No?
See, that was another
Hard pass it.
Life is Strange was another one I couldn't get into.
Yep, that's fine. And this is a given. This is going to be announced at the Square-Enix Presents. We've already seen that it was on the promo image. We're gonna go to another one that I know will just We'll just get Night Sky Prince a little giddy, just a little giddy. Yokotaro's new game possibly could be a near game. Are we? This is coming from. Oh, Gamatsu translating an interview from GamesTalk.net. Taro says, "This is a somewhat unusual game. I've created something mysterious that I have no idea how to explain or sell." Now, Sato chimed in by mentioning that it'll feel nostalgic and new, and also assured viewers that the company staff thinks it will definitely sell well. But I just wanted to read that off. That was coming from Gamatsu, translating interview from Games Talk from Yoko Taro.
Well,
Night Sky Prince.
boy. It seems like a smaller title, so I don't know if it'll be a near title. If it is, it'll be some sort of spin-off title rather than anything like a, well, obviously other than like a near 3, and it's digital only. So I could see it potentially being a near spin-off title, because right now near is hot, like hot. Like near is selling like crazy. They announced not too long ago that Nier Automata is now at 5.5 million in lifetime sales, which is crazy. To put that in perspective, the original release of Nier Replicant and Gestalt on 360 and PS3, that didn't even reach like a million units. I think like the sales estimates on it were like 700,000 or something like that. And so for now, for like Nier Automata to hit like 5.5 million, that's like that's a huge jump. That's a huge jump. And then Near Reincarnation, the new mobile game, came out, and it's still only available in Japan. The Western release is coming though, but in Japan only, not global, not anywhere else, but only in Japan. They've already surpassed 10 million downloads, which is nuts.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
In Japan
that's
only.
Japan only. So when this thing
Wow, that's
goes
the entire
global,
country.
yeah, it's insane, right?
That's the whole country. They're all
Yeah,
playing it.
right. And so if
Wow,
you,
that is.
yeah, if you can get 10 million downloads in Japan only, when that thing goes to like the West, the global launch, we're probably looking at like 30 or 40 million downloads. And it's coming this year, so like before the end of the year, we're probably looking somewhere between 20 and 40 million, I'd say. So Nier has been really blowing up, and I would hope that this game, even if it is a spin-off, a digital-only title, I would still love to see it somehow take place in or be somehow related to Nier. I don't think we have to worry about that, because Yoko Taro stage plays, novels. If Yoko Taro, like, if Yoko Taro breathes, it's part of his universe. Like, there's never anything that he writes that is like outside of his universe. It's all within there. So honestly, I imagine this digital only game to probably be part of the Drake and Near universe, and maybe it'll have a waifu or two in there. He's also known for that, and yeah, that's what I'm thinking this will be.
Guaranteed, man.
I
So
I
do
think
you think we'll see anything at E3?
Um, maybe I could see it being announced. I can see a short little teaser for it.
Little teaser. I can kind of see a little
Yeah.
teaser as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll get like
All
a
right.
really weird interview that gives absolutely no details, and it's just Yoko Taro making jokes like the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll get. The whole time he's like, "Yeah, I spent Square Enix's money making this really bad video game that
Yeah,
won't sell."
I love it. I love how in the interview he says, "I've created something that I have no idea how to sell."
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
I always love his like self-deprecating humor, where he's just like, "Yeah, my games kind of suck. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you people for playing this garbage, but thank you for doing it. But please, like, get help." Like, that's like all of his like interviews, and I just love it.
I to
Well, it
comment.
is it is the
Oh,
time of Nier, man. Everybody loves it.
Baby Seal here says
What's up?
there might be a new clue there might be a clue to the project in ending D. Interesting.
Mm,
I need to hear Baby Seal's theory on that later.
Um,
yeah.
I was just gonna comment on like the 10 million downloads thing that you mentioned earlier. I think the
Hmm.
only there was I forget what game it was. I think it was for the Switch. I think when Breath of the Wild came out, I think Breath of the Wild sold more copies than there were Nintendo Switches sold because people couldn't get a Switch, but they wanted so like they bought Breath of the Wild to make sure that they could play it when they finally got a Switch, but there were more Breath of the Wild sales than there were Nintendo Switch sales when Breath of the Wild
That's
came out.
easy.
So
Yeah.
it had like 150% like play rate because like more people bought it than had a Switch to be able to play it. So I was like that's wild. I'm sure it leveled off now, but I was like
Hmm.
that's crazy. The game outsold the console.
Yeah.
So just real quick, I kind of want to interject a little bit. We do have a very speaking of announcements, right? Because in the tradition of E3, we have an exciting announcement to make after we are done with the Square Enix predictions here, and we got a little bit left here, but after the Square Enix, we got an exciting announcement to make. That it's for Final Fan TV. It's coming at the end of the month, a big event, and we're excited to make the announcement. Let's get back on track to Square Enix. Now I think we've covered all of the basically we've covered all the confirmed games. Neo: The World Ends with You is also scheduled for this year, very soon actually. So it's got to be we got to see this at E3, right? Just to kind of like give some just to get that hype launch trailer or whatever they're gonna show. And what do you think we're gonna see? I know Night Sky Prince. I know you're really into this. You love the World Ends with You stuff. Uh, I likely think we're gonna see some hands-on gameplay demo because we got to show that off, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm assuming that this is gonna be where like the media blowout for the game happens. As you guys probably should know, I was a big fan of the first one. Thought the first one was a pretty brilliant game. This new one, I'm honestly not so sure about how I feel on it yet. I mean, it looks good, but the first thing is that the World Ends with You had a very unique combat system, and the only way to make
Mm,
that combat system work was with a touchpad, and it was all touch gestures. You got these. Have you played it?
yeah.
I-
I played a little bit of it. It was on the DS, right? Or the
Yeah, yeah.
3DS?
It was on
Uh,
DS. And
okay.
you got these like pins, right? And the pins like they almost work like materia basically, where you equip a pin and then you have that ability. But the way you
Mhm.
activated your pins was through touch gestures. So sometimes you tap or like double tap or like maybe you like draw like a symbol or maybe you draw a circle or do some kind of crap, and then that's how you would
Yeah.
activate the ability, right? And that was kind of like
Yeah.
the fun of the combat, and you were also kind of controlling like two characters at the same time. And so the way combat looks in this, it doesn't look like you're doing that. It looks like yeah, I have like a full party out there at the same time. It looks
Mhm.
like it kind of looks like it looks a lot more Kingdom Heartsy the way the combat is working now, and so and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm curious how it's going to work out. They kept the comic book panels too, and I'm like I don't know
Mm.
how that's going to work on or how people will feel about it on like a PS4 title that all the cutscenes are most of the cutscenes that we've seen thus far like the comic panels because they're not like I don't know if people who aren't biased to the world ends with you are because for me I don't care because I love the first game, but I don't know if people who
Right.
aren't biased to like the world ends with you will be able to sit through something like that or find that appealing. So I'm actually kind of worried about that game
Yeah.
in that sense too in terms of how it will sell because if Neo doesn't sell good this franchise is just dead because honestly the first game did not sell well at all, and I genuinely did not think that Neo was ever gonna happen. Like this is just like a surprise. This is them basically like being persistent. about saying like if we failed the first time, we're gonna try it again because we have like a cult following, and we're just gonna push and see if we can have it catch on. But yeah, I'm expecting a big media blowout for this game at E3. A demo would be
Yeah.
great. I think they honestly need to do a demo, and I think it needs to be a good demo because I think that's the only way they're
Mm.
gonna like reasonably hook people into this. Like who are like on the outskirts who are unsure about whether or not they want to actually try it.
That that game
Yeah,
sounds
very very good. They need something to sell it.
it
Hmm.
Go.
sounds very similar to Infinity Blade. I don't know if you guys played that on mobile, but
Oh, I love that game. Yeah.
that Infinity Blade was awesome. And when you got like this, when you would equip certain spells, like you had to like as you're slashing with your finger, you had to like kind of like draw the spell with your finger um to cast like cure or fire or something against the enemy that you're fighting. But I loved that part about Infinity Blade, so I feel like I would enjoy that in in a more current game. I think they took Infinity Blade off
So
the go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just gonna say, like, just to keep me up to date, is this on PlayStation? This is PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, right?
Yeah,
Or
It's on
am I?
PS4 and
Is there like a
Switch.
delay? Yeah.
There's a
So,
Yeah,
huge
they're
delay.
yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Like super delay right now.
There's a delay.
Yeah.
All right, all right. So it's on PS4 and PlayStation and Switch. Okay. I was just wondering because I mean both of those have touch options. I mean we could have made that work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like could both
And
of them have a
maybe
touchpad.
they are. We actually don't know, I believe. It might be out there somewhere in interviews, but I think I saw like I think when I looked at the UI, it looked like one of the pins was like highlighted. So it looked like maybe they were like toggling between the pins. I don't know. I don't
Mm.
know. So maybe that is what they're doing, but I can't imagine trying to use the PS4 touchpad to do that stuff because it seems kind of awkward compared to a touch screen. And if
Mhm.
that's what they're gonna be doing, then I'm just gonna go ahead and switch on over to the Nintendo version right now. Because man, I'm thinking about like trying to like tap and like draw stuff on touchpad, and I'm just like, that's it for me. Like I'm checking out. But if I can do it, if I can do it on a Switch, I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is cool." But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it's what basically what you're saying is they need to show something that's going to sell people on the game. It's about to come out, right? So even though the game's about to come out, they need to show something that the gameplay, maybe like Baby Seal saying in chat right now, show maybe the opening chapter of how the game's actually going to play. So very cool. That was Neo Worlds in with you. I also just kind of want to touch on. I think we're also going to see an Outriders update, as Square is likely going to want to kind of show support for this game that came out a few months ago. So I do think we'll probably see something on Outriders. It's nothing too hype here on the hype scale. Now the last two things, yeah, the last two things that we can talk about here on my list. Let's go with Forspoken because I kind of want to touch on this one a little bit. I actually don't think we're going to see anything on Forspoken. I think that game was announced a couple in the spring showcase, and they were just kind of like, or was it spring showcase? It was the PlayStation
I wonder if
something.
Baby Seal
Anyways,
agrees with you, because this is his most anticipated Square game. I know that for a fact.
I
So we'll
just
see.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it coming. I think they were just kind of like, "Hey, we showed you what we wanted to show there," and I think it's kind of move aside and let Final Fantasy 16 or the new Montreal game, or I just feel like Forspoken is too far out. This is just my opinion. I think we'll probably see it a little bit later at a different Square Enix presents.
Well,
I
it
do.
is
Yeah.
next year, right? So it's not that far off.
Mhm.
Is it next year? Did they say that?
Yeah, 2022.
Oh, okay.
2022, right? But they didn't
Yeah,
give like a time frame, right? Like they didn't.
I don't know.
No, they didn't give a time frame. We just know it's next year. But I do
Okay.
I could see them showing something off. We really haven't seen that much. When I actually was just reviewing the footage for my E3 predictions video, and when I was looking at it, I was like, most of the gameplay trailer was actually interviewing the actress who plays. Is her
That's what
name?
I'm about to say. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
want to say they say her name is Frey. I don't know if I'm just
Right.
thinking that because I want to say it's Frey. I'm not sure if I'm just mixing that up because
Yeah,
Frey is also the
Frey or
name of a
Freya,
character.
if I'm
Yeah, something like that. Because
Yeah.
there's also a Frey in the Dark Knight quest for 14 I just did. So I'm like, am my memory predict? Okay, it's Frey Holland. Okay, so it
Yeah. Okay.
two 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 Freys. Too many.
Freya Freyaland.
Point is, I could see it, but they have a while to go. I don't know how late into 2022 they're going to be launching this, and that's really the what will determine if we see it. Because if it's late 2022, then I imagine they'll want to save stuff for next year, and when they have more stuff later ready. But if it's summer or earlier, then I think it'll be at E3.
Yeah, I think simply by the fact that this is being developed in the Luminous engine, it's probably gonna get pushed to 2023. I wouldn't be surprised. Uh, and also because of how much we've seen of the game, I don't even know what this game is yet. As far as what we've seen like very quickly edited gameplay segments. The world looks super barren yet beautiful, and I don't know if that's the final vision of the game or if that's just what they've been able to show us. Also, we got one very quick cutscene of dialogue of a woman who's very clearly just not in the right place, and there's a dragon and she's afraid, and then that's all we got. So like we have no idea what this game is. And so I think just simply by that fact, we're not gonna see, we probably won't see it this E3. I'm gonna say that. I'm with you, Final Fan TV. I think we're not gonna see it this E3, and I think it may get pushed to 2023.
Okay. What about you, Vin? You think we're going to see Forspoken?
Probably not. I think it's probably going to be next year. When they have
Okay.
more to show for it.
Fair enough. Let's talk about something else that's definitely not going to be there. Kingdom Hearts. What do you guys think? Kingdom Hearts. The reason why I say it's not going to be there. Well, I mean, the reason why I'm bringing it up in the first place, I guess, is that it will be the 20th anniversary coming next year. So it kind of feels like making an announcement for a game coming in 2022 would be the right move. I do not see it being Kingdom Hearts 4, so I wouldn't even like my expectations for Kingdom Hearts 4 is it's ways away. I think we'll see a Verum Rex or spinoff. Like we're gonna get a bunch of in true Kingdom Hearts fashion. I feel like we'll get a bunch of spinoffs in between. And if anything, I will say that the mobile game is coming to an end. That's the Dark Road Cross or Union Cross Dark Road. That is coming to an end on June 17th. So that literally the service ends there. And I feel like they're not going to want to wait too long before they replace that game quickly with another Kingdom Hearts game. And possibly this Kingdom Hearts game, its whole purpose will be to build up to the next spinoff or whatever. What do you guys think?
Boy, yeah, Kingdom Hearts. The ending to Union Cross that came out has people at a pretty high emotional high. Like the core Kingdom Hearts audience is
Mm.
is very much at like an emotional high. So if you go and look at like the Kingdom Hearts content creators and the Kingdom Hearts like diehards, they were very happy with the way that game ended. But I think if you look at the broader Square Enix fandom and the broader casual Kingdom Hearts audience, people are very disenchanted with that franchise right now.
Yeah.
Like the mainstream audience is very very much checked out of Kingdom Hearts after Kingdom Hearts 3. So whatever they do end up showing, Nomura actually specifically said, "Hey, look, I got we're making a very big Kingdom Hearts announcement next year
Hmm.
for the anniversary, and that's where everyone expects that the next major Kingdom Hearts game will be." But whatever it is, man, they have to get back the casual Kingdom Hearts fandom because they're completely gone at this point.
Yeah.
They checked out really hard after Kingdom Hearts 3.
I am I'm on that side. Just to put it out there. But Kingdom, like, I wouldn't say casual because like I was hardcore into Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I mean,
Um
same. Yeah, same.
yeah, the
And
game
after
didn't
3, I was just like,
exactly. So okay, so we're on the same page. I feel like we can have a whole podcast on this. So maybe we will. I don't know if we want the hate. But if we invite the hate in, we can talk about our disappointment with Kingdom Hearts 3. But as far as E3 predictions go, yeah, I mean, maybe wait till next year. Is that what we're thinking? Wait till next year for an announcement, not a game, but an announcement for the 20th anniversary. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
well, he more or less like very. It was very direct in saying we're announcing a major game in
Mm,
2022. That's the way the quote read to me. And so if that's the case, I don't know if that's meaning like maybe a remake of a past title since it is an anniversary, and that tends to be the thing that companies like to do for anniversaries, or whether that's a brand new game. That's really hard to say, but I think most people are looking forward to seeing something with wherever VRM Rex is going.
yeah, definitely.
Assuming
Definitely.
assuming that that's Kingdom Hearts and not like his way of like pitching like his new game that he wants to make too, which is also kind of a theory that I have that he wants to make a game that is more or less versus 13, but not versus 13, and he's gonna change all the characters and designs and stuff.
He
Yeah,
pitched it to Square, and they're like, "Well, no, you can't. You can't do that. You can't you can't release Versus 13." He's like, "Okay, fine. I guess I won't do it." And then he writes it into Kingdom Hearts 3, just like writes it in, and then just like, "Well,
yeah,
there it is." I mean, people are excited, so
yeah. And that's potentially what it could be. There's a
Mm,
lot of people who want it to be a part of Kingdom Hearts. There's a lot of people who don't want it to actually be part of Kingdom Hearts. They want it to be its own thing that takes back the sort of vision of what Versus 13 was and just sort of tweaks it so that it doesn't overlap with what 15 became.
yeah,
I genuinely don't know what's going on. I can tell you one thing though that sticks out to me and makes me believe that that's the case. It's because whenever you look at the Virum Rex characters' faces, they have they are Final Fantasy characters in proportion. They are not Kingdom Hearts characters,
yeah, yeah.
and that's really interesting to me.
I've always been like calling for, or at least hoping for, Kingdom Hearts like to kind of not break away from Disney. Like we still need the Disney worlds and stuff, but like
Right.
kind of go into Final Fantasy worlds. Like
Mm.
like you go into the world of Final Fantasy 7 and you have a little storyline going on there. I think that would be interesting, like to kind of go into Final Fantasy worlds. But I think the next game will be Kingdom Hearts Verum Rex. I just feel like they're building up to it. That'll be the spinoff. Um, but yeah, I just don't think we're going to see it at E3.
Yeah,
So
yeah, not either.
uh, not at E3. All right, guys. So
Um,
if you're
so,
ready, we're going to move
well,
on from
I
Square Enix.
I have
What do you?
just like one thing that I'm 100% sure we're probably not going to see, but I would love to see is a Parasite Eve remake announcement.
Hmm.
Just like like even if it's just like a quick like 5 second thing where they just like they just throw up Parasite Eve remake and then just like take it off the screen. Like that would be enough for me. I want to see a Parasite Eve remake. I know they've teased about it and there's been nothing officially announced, but Parasite Eve was one of my favorite games to play on PlayStation 1.
That's speaking of, just kind of throw out Bagels will be joining us soon, but Bagels in chat talked about a Legend of Dragoon remake. There's a lot of hopes and dreams for games that come back as remakes. And yeah, I'm all about it, man. I'm all about remakes. Especially of PS1 games. They need it, and some stories are meant to be told, you know what I mean? And reach new audiences.
I have
Can you
one.
believe that there's people, well, actually Compo is one of them, but I was gonna say people have never played Final Fantasy X, and then like
I need to.
or weren't even born when Final Fantasy X came
Oh,
out.
don't
I
say
was
that.
born at least. I was born at least.
That hurts.
But
Oh,
yeah. So like remakes, I'm all about them, man. I think that would be great. Go ahead, Compo, before we move on from.
yeah, before we move on, just one impossible thing that I want to see, but I do not expect it is, obviously remake part two, just a CG teaser or something. Don't like just something for me to grab onto. I don't expect to see it, but oh, that's like my insane wild want from three is just like to close out the show, quick teaser, not
Mm.
revealing too much, and we'll see more next year or something. Just I know it's not gonna happen.
Complex.
I
I
could
was
dream.
actually, I mean, I know this is not going to happen either, but I kind of felt like intermission was going to end with as your
Maybe,
teaser. Like
maybe
that's your teaser. But I don't know, something that gets people talking for the next year. I think it's going to be intermission, the ending of intermission. I think that's
that
going
would
to
be
get
great
people
too.
talking for the. They need something that's going to keep people talking for the next year. I think you know what I mean, like they want to fuel us content creators to create new theories and all that other stuff. So,
And we will be
um,
here.
we,
Yeah,
we are here and we are waiting.
intermission's gonna give some kind of like it's gonna like give like some kind of like big clue on like the plot goes, and it's gonna send everyone nuts,
Oh,
Oh
great.
yeah.
and that's what's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
happen.
Oh,
What? Oh,
so
definitely.
fun. So fun.
Definitely. But
I'm so
yeah,
excited.
and I'm sure Genesis will be there at the end of it. I think that's what's going to get people going
Okay.
nuts. Some kind of implication of Genesis. I feel like. I mean, I would say implication of Genesis, but I mean, do we need any more implications? Like he's there. Um,
I got an idea. What if somehow they dropped the name Genesis for this character and the Gact likeness, and they just introduced the same character that represents the same thing as G, like it was in Dirge.
yeah, George. If George
Yeah,
is there, I'll
George.
be okay with it. I'm, I'm okay with George as long as he's not at the Nibelheim incident. I'm okay with him. So,
I'm with Baby
so
Seal in the chat. He
what does he
says,
say?
I think we'll see something for 7R, but nothing beyond a teaser. I think at the most it will just be
Intergrade.
a teaser. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, either
it's
in
gonna be.
Intergrade or E3, but I think Intergrade makes more sense. Yeah,
Oh
I
no, you
think
know what
at
we're gonna
E3 they're just gonna talk about Intergrade. Like I mean, just gonna be like, "Hey, it's out today" or something like that, and just be
that's
a
true. Yeah,
Intergrade trailer.
you
But
know what we're really gonna see? You know what we're really gonna see?
let me
Intergrade
hear
for
it.
I,
Let
Diablo
I,
me,
4.
let me,
oh
let me hear
no,
you.
oh no. This is a groundbreaking prediction.
I'm excited.
Everyone hold on to your seats.
I'm
Hold
ready.
on to your butts. Here we go.
They're gonna drop a trailer for the anime. It's
Oh, dude.
gonna
I'm
happen.
ready. I'm ready. I was thinking about that too. I'm
Hmm.
FF7 related, right?
Yep.
Yep.
They're gonna
I'm
drop
ready.
the anime rumor is gonna turn out to be real, and they're gonna drop a trailer for the anime.
Oh, dude, that I will be freaking out, dude.
Right.
Like the one,
Because
like the
yeah.
Netflix rumor, like that it's gonna be on Netflix type thing.
Yeah, and because
Mhm.
their goal is to keep you engaged with remake in every possible way when they don't have a major content release.
Best way to
And
do that
so,
is a
yeah,
serial anime.
yep. There's the anime, of course, for Soldier, Ever Crisis. These are all ways to keep you thinking about FF7 while you're waiting for the next part, keep you engaged with FF7's brand. And so the anime seems really real to me. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that's fake." I
Mm.
think it's 100% real. I think it's a matter of time before it drops. I think that is how they're going to keep people engaged with remake is doing stuff like that. I also 100% believe that at some point we may see like another CGI movie. I don't think that's
Mm.
like I don't,
That'd be so cool too. Like
yeah.
I'm down for all of these. I love,
Yeah.
TV and movies also just as much as video games. So I'm
Exactly.
all of
Yeah.
it. All of it.
When 15 went full like media spectrum, I really actually enjoyed that. I love the it makes it feel like an event. Like it
It
feels
does.
big. Yeah.
Only
So
problem
I'm
is
cool with it.
is down the line when people want to get into it retroactively, having so many different things to get into, it hurts in the long run.
Yeah.
That is the issue I have with Kingdom Hearts. I'm afraid of that franchise.
I'm afraid.
I've never played it, and I'm like so scared to get into it because there is so much to get into, and I feel like I'm gonna lose my life just starting to
I
make all these connections that everyone
see.
made 15 years ago.
I think it's gonna be. I think it'll be great for you, and not to like dwell on this. This is an E3 prediction show, but I think it'll be great for anybody jumping into Kingdom Hearts because you get to experience it in succession. Whereas for like players like me and maybe Night Sky Prince, I don't know if he feels the same way, but like we experienced it growing up with it, right? Like I was 12, Sora was 12, right? We were, or I don't know, I was 12 and then 15, and then like waiting for the ending, the conclusion, and then that would be the point where Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts 3 kind of fell off for me. But for you, you get to, it's all new for you, so Kingdom Hearts 3 is not the end of the line for you. Like let's, what I mean? For me, it was like this is the end of the line finally, closure. And then no. But moving on to the next part of our prediction show. All right. It's going to be Xbox. We're going to bring in a good friend of mine, Bagels, and he loves Xbox. We're going to talk about some Xbox stuff. There is a lot, I mean a lot, to talk about with Xbox. And that is, saying that out loud is just crazy, right? Xbox known for having a lack of games. Don't think we're going to have that lack of games coming up, and I'm going to explain to you why.